In the final phase of emergency management, the community needs to get back to normal. Though the emergency is over, there may still be a lot more work to do to take care of the basic needs of the community. Recovery consists of measures to repair, reconstruct, and restore the community after a disaster. Disasters cause many different kinds of damage.
You have to be able to deal with their medical problems. There could be some social problems that have arisen as a result of people being displaced from their homes, and where are they going to live. So you have to work with other organizations as a community to try and make sure that your residents are safe, they're getting their services, and that their lives are returned to as much normal as possible.
The recovery plan is the basis for managing the recovery. It includes identifying the roles of agencies involved in the recovery process. To manage a recovery efficiently and effectively, you need accurate information on how the community has been affected and the extent of the damage and the problems. You also need to look at providing the resources to recover, which can include things like money, shelter, donations, and volunteers. The recovery process is often both short-term and long-term.
It's to try and get the community back to as normal as possible after an emergency. There's 4 phases to it. You assess the damage, you provide the services to the residents in that area. You also make sure that you inform the residents of what is occurring during the recovery phase. And if there were outside resources in the event of the emergency, it's the withdrawal of those services after the emergency is done.
The assessment that's done, it allows, the committee to plan of how we're going to get things back, hopefully as close to normal as it was before the flood. And a good example is the last major flood that we had a lot of road damage. So we had to really work hard on that and get the roads back up so that trucks are able to get to where they need to go. We can access our solid waste site, and everything hopefully can get back to normal.
An emergency can have many damaging effects on the community. It can close roads, damage buildings, close businesses and schools, pollute the environment, shut down essential services, and cause injury or death. All of these effects can severely impact the community, not just physically, but psychologically as well. Some emotional or psychological effects include sleep disturbance, depression, social withdrawal, as well as feelings of anger, helplessness, or stress.
Dealing with the anxiety that people often have afterwards, post-traumatic stress syndrome, and how to get counselors in, and then how to help people if they've lost something, whether it be with insurance or the reassurance that they need that things will get back to normal, and if there have been any loss of life, dealing with the grief counseling.
Recovery also deals with information gathered. This includes debriefing, the creation of information databases, assessment of the emergency, and the recording and analysis of data for accountability and post-recovery analysis. Your recovery plan is going to cover all kinds of different ways of getting your community back to normal, and this may require extra cash. Government assistance is available throughout the territory, which also manages any federal assistance to your community to help it recover from a disaster. Each province or territory designs, develops, and delivers disaster financial assistance to its residents, businesses, and community governments through their own disaster recovery programs. These programs determine the amounts and types of assistance that will be provided. The Government of the Northwest Territories has established the Disaster Assistance Policy, or DAP, in order to provide disaster financial assistance. For further information on the DAP or on disaster financial assistance, you can visit the MACA website. During recovery, aside from government assistance, you'll find that other assistance is also available. A lot of recovery tasks require the cooperation of many public, private, and non-governmental agencies and individuals. While it is the Community Emergency Response Committee's responsibility to oversee the care of the community, the committee is not alone. There are a lot of organizations, agencies, and services to help during the recovery phase of an incident and to assist your community to get back on its feet.